What is an Easter egg? The word has been buzzing around in the cinematic world for a while now. Some of us hear Easter egg and maybe we get hungry for chocolate, or perhaps we remember hunting for the colorful, hidden eggs when we were children. But the Easter eggs we will be looking at are tasty little secrets for the superfans to discover. So let's look at some of our favorite Easter eggs in famous movies. This is our list of the best Easter eggs in film history. Toy Story. In 1995, the world of cinema changed forever. Toy Story was released in theaters and single-handedly reimagined how films could be dreamed up. Pixar and Disney had formed the ultimate team-up. Like the cinematic Mario and Luigi, Disney has famously referred to various famous films throughout their animated history. A great one that many viewers missed is Toy Story, which takes place in Sid's room. If you don't remember, Sid is the evil kid who lives next door. His room looks like the Overlook Hotel from The Shining, both presumably inescapable chambers of horrors. They are places where fear takes hold and does not let go. Upon closer inspection, you will notice that the carpet on Sid's bedroom floor is identical to the infamous carpet in The Shining. And for those in the know, the number 237 reveals itself throughout the film, a direct reference to the doomed room in the Overlook Hotel. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. The Marvel Cinematic Universe fills each movie with so many Easter eggs it's impossible to keep track unless that is what you dedicated your life to. But we are here to look only at the juiciest Easter eggs. And The Winter Soldier has a doozy. This one has a death scene for Nick Fury. There will be no hints about the ending given here. If you aren't caught up, well, that's on you. Technically, this could play as one of the more melancholy moments in the MCU, but ultimately, it gives us one of the most fun Easter eggs we've ever seen, as Nick Fury, played by Sam Jackson, is standing over his gravestone. Told you, he only sorta kinda died. The headstone reads, "The Path of the Righteous Man," Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 17. This is a delightful and brilliant tip of the cap to his character in Pulp Fiction, Jules Winfield, and the inspired speech he gives, one of the most iconic moments in Pulp Fiction. Scream. Easter eggs may sometimes be an homage to a famous cult actor or someone who inspired the genre. Horror is an especially beloved film genre, and the writers and directors often reference the films that came before them. Wes Craven ruled the 80s and 90s when it came to horror. Scream itself is a love letter to the tropes that make horror movies so fun for audiences. Craven paid the ultimate homage in Scream with a delightful Easter egg for superfans of the horror genre. There is a perfectly placed cameo from Linda Blair, who you may know from her iconic role in The Exorcist. Blair plays an annoying reporter who comes flying after Sidney outside her school. It's a fun cameo and Easter egg from one of the most famous names in horror cinema, From Dusk Till Dawn. The Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't the only one to make our list. The Tarantino universe is alive and well, and this Easter egg involves the same character, pretty much, from our earlier Easter egg. First, it should be known that Quentin Tarantino has outwardly claimed that all his films exist in some connected universe, and From Dusk Till Dawn has one of the juiciest, pun intended. In the cult favorite vampire flick, the characters stop by Big Kahuna Burger, the fictionalized fast food joint serving delicious burgers in the Tarantino universe dating back to Pulp Fiction. Remember in Pulp Fiction, Jules not so politely takes a bite of Brad's burger? It was from Big Kahuna. The Departed. If you've never seen The Departed, you need to. Martin Scorsese's crime masterpiece is one of the most literally titled films ever made. You know what I mean. X marks the spot in this gangster epic from 2006. In each scene where someone is killed, beforehand, there is an X somewhere on the screen. Go back and watch, and leave a comment if you've seen them all. It doesn't have to be a written X. It may be a crossing beam, a design in the shape of an X, or a design in a rug or flooring. In The Departed, an X means death is imminent. If you watch carefully, you will see that Sergeant Dignam, a fan favorite and humor jolt in a pretty violent and depressing film, never appears near an X. You know what that means. Fight Club. Success is good, but don't rub it in all our faces. Fight Club is a satirical view of a world gone mad with consumption, the corporatization of America, and a consumer culture blinded by the way it is living. To shove this notion into our faces, David Fincher and the team responsible for the film adaptation of Fight Club utilize a Starbucks coffee cup in every single scene in the film. Yes, you heard that right. Every single scene. A cup may be sitting on a table or clutched in a character's hand, or even just lying empty on the ground. Starbucks has expanded worldwide over the last couple of decades and is now one of the most recognizable logos on the planet. Surprisingly, Starbucks was game to poke a little fun at themselves. Their only stipulation was their logo was not allowed to be on the destroyed cup. Fincher said it was fun. He's got nothing against Starbucks Corporation. He just believes they're too successful. Let's go back a bit further to a different era of cinema. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. The famed English film director is acclaimed as one of the modern cinema pioneers. His influence is far-reaching and has inspired filmmakers the world over. His films speak for themselves in their dramatic approach and nuanced horror elements. But some people may not know how often the director was in front of the camera. Hitchcock appeared in 39 of the 52 films he made. This certainly inspired Stan Lee of Marvel fame and Quentin Tarantino, who appear in several of their projects. And of all of Hitchcock's appearances in his movies, the most famous is The Birds. In the film, he exits a pet store with two small, adorable dogs. Fun fact, the two little doggos were Hitchcock's actual pets. Will stay in the past, but move to a future version. Tron. Tron was a game changer. The film emphasized the crossover between film and video games at a time when gaming was just beginning to catch the eye of the public. The film follows a programmer who enters a dangerous virtual environment and finds himself pitted against malicious software that has come to life. Do you know the Easter egg in Tron? Here's a scene in the film in which the characters are studying the grid of the game. And if you look carefully, you can recognize a small Pac-Man on the screen. A shout out to the legendary game that changed the world of video games forever. John Wick. Continuity is a word that often shows up in conversations about cinema. It is the concept of one scene blending seamlessly into the next, or more specifically, shot to shot. If a character is eating pasta in one shot and you cut to another actress and then back, the actor should not be smoking a cigarette. He should be finishing his pasta. John Wick demonstrates a masterclass in continuity. John Wick 1 and John Wick 2 take place 4 days apart. In an important scene outside the Continental Hotel, all the cars in the street are the same. That is some world-class attention to detail. Good job, crew. We're back to Pixar and the Toy Story saga. Toy Story 3. There is something always thrilling about seeing a famous character return in a later film installment of a franchise. We mentioned Sid earlier, his room of ghoulish resemblance to the Overlook Hotel from The Shining. In Toy Story 3, we may see him as a young man. We see a young man with the same skull t-shirt and a resemblance to the toy mutilator. It's a nice little reference to how much time has passed in the Toy Story saga. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. This movie started it all. As the legend tells, the cast and crew held an actual Easter egg hunt before filming. Sounds fun, I guess. And fortunately for us, 3 eggs were left unfound. There is one Easter egg in the elevator, another one under Frank's throne, and one more in the main room, all of which require a keen eye to spot. Finding Easter eggs is a bonus to what is undoubtedly one of the most iconic and fun films of all time. Did you know multiple cities across the country hold screenings every Saturday at midnight where the audience members dress as famous characters from the film? The movie has become more than just a sit-down and watch experience. It's a party. Here we are at our final Easter egg, and this one is the most fun. A shout out to a galaxy far, far away. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of the most famous and successful collaborations in film history. Steven Spielberg and George Lucas have been entertaining audiences and superfans for 5 decades. The original crossover goes back to Raiders of the Lost Ark, a scene in which Indy picks up the Ark of the Covenant out of its crate and reveals some hieroglyphs. And for the ultra-observant fans dedicated to discovering these fun Easter egg gems, we can see Star Wars characters C-3PO and R2-D2 drawn as ancient images. That is super fun for everyone. It sets the time out of time. Bonus: in the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series, again for the ultra-observant, you may have noticed a scene where some droids are loading a crate onto a spaceship, and the crate is pretty reminiscent of the Ark of the Covenant. What do you guys think? Are there any Easter eggs we forgot? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video as much as we did. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon with another great video. Take care!